Come on. I connected all of that. There we go. Okay. I always hate it when it sits there and takes forever. And we do appear to be, we are live. Cool. It's the fastest I've ever gotten it done. Welcome, welcome. We're kicking off the summer strategy session series with a powerhouse guest. You all know her from the Rebelution Summit, but she really knows how to turn up the volume on your visibility and your impact. Joie Gharrity is a brand strategist, author, and visibility expert who spent 15 plus years working at top Hollywood studios. She worked on one of my favorite, well, two of them now I just discovered because I knew she did Stargate. Then I just discovered over the weekend that she also did Independence Day, which is like a tradition at our house on the 4th of July. So but now she helps entrepreneurs around the globe shine brighter by aligning their unique voice with a standout brand presence. So today's session is all about your voice equals your brand, because your story, your energy, and the way you show up, that is your marketing. So if you've ever struggled to find your voice in a crowded online space, or you've ever wondered how to stand out without selling out without sounding spammy and salesy, grab a notebook because you are in for a major treat. Let me bring Joie on. Boom.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
This is going to be so good.
Yeah, so
So
I
I
just
hope
wanted
everybody's taking notes.
to I just wanted to first I just wanted to share a little bit about me and my background. So I'm a visibility influence strategist, brand consultant, marketing expert, international speaker, and author. I'm also the founder of Shine Bright Digital Media, known to many as Joey G113. Um, I named my company Joey G113 after two of the most famous women entrepreneurs out there, and one is Coco Chanel and the other is Marilyn Monroe. So you can learn more about my story and why I named them after that and what Joey G113 means at joey113.com. But I empower entrepreneurs out there to get visible and influential, and by training them to be speakers, video podcast content creators, authors. They can also be in my magazine, etc., and standout leaders in the industry. And so I'm really proud of the trainings that I've done. They are based off of my Hollywood training. And I took all my Hollywood days and I put Heart Center behind it. And my purpose is to help the masses to stand in their spotlight and shine bright and know that it's literally your birthright to do that. So today I'm going to be sharing three of my favorite tools and tips, and their signature, actually. They're my signature tools and tips with all of you today.
Well,
And
I'm gonna pop off here for a minute because you want to share some stuff, and I'm gonna let you have the whole screen to yourself so you can share your presentation.
okay, can you see it now, sister?
It's coming. Yeah, I guess I just, oops, it went away. It was there. It went away.
Well, it's okay if they can't see it. I mean, it's okay if I go dry. It's no problem. But I am going to share three. I'll be covering how to develop a clear company branded voice. I'll also be talking about how to create a clear brand strategy marketing campaign. And then finally, how to leverage your social media channels, which I love social media because it's free, right? But also, too, because it gives us the ability in the marketplace to shine very, very bright out there, right? And not have to ask for permission to do that. So, I want to talk a little bit about my background and my expertise. And um, one thing is that I worked 15 plus years in the Hollywood entertainment industry. I worked at top companies in film and television and regional web content and brand entertainment, and I was handpicked by the ABC studio president to launch the first multimedia startup for the Walt Disney Company. I returned to the Bay Area and launched Joie G113. My mission is to power entrepreneurs like you to amplify your visibility, influence, and shine bright. So your ideal clients don't just see you, they hire you. I'm an action taker. That's why I did so well down in Hollywood, because I love to take action. I like to be in forward motion. I'm also a generator. So anyone out there that knows about generators or your human design, you'll get it, right? And so I love to generate blueprint plans, step-by-step plans for my clients, and integrate the visibility and the influence that way, and so that it's really clear. But I also want to share, people ask me all the time why I left Hollywood. And I want to share why. And it's because I was hiding in the shadows and making everyone else a star and not myself. I was working myself into the ground. So Hollywood is just major corporations. So anyone that's been worked in major corporations, you might you would probably relate with this. It was impacting my health, and I wanted to put my health first. And I realized that studios were loaning me their influence, and I didn't have any of my own, right? And so I was making me in service to the industry and not of service. So I set an intention to grow my own influence, much like a studio, and that way I can lend my influence to others. Right now, my YouTube channel is at a 15.7K subscriber list right now, and that is so that I can bring people onto my shows, or people can also, when I train them to be video podcast content creators, I can lend them my influence, and they can sit on my YouTube channel, for instance. So I'm really committed to helping others grow your influence, because it's literally linked to your earning power, and there's so much business opportunity behind your influence. So I'm going to ask you today, from a scale of 1 to 10, where is your influence? And 10 being the highest, right? And what I'm going to ask from you is to set an intention and commit to doubling your influence this year in 2025, because it will literally change your earning power, right? Because it's directly linked to your earning power, but it will also change the opportunities in the way that your purpose is being driven out there. And people will hand you opportunities that you couldn't have even um, dreamed of for yourself, right? Because influence, it pulls a chair up to the table in a whole different way. And so that's why I think that influence has gotten a bad rap out there, because of the influencers, right? But I'm not saying you need to be an influencer. I'm just saying you want to build your own influence, particularly if you're passionate about your business having major tipping points. So a little bit about what influence has done for me. Today, my online reach is 1.1 million. I have a Facebook group that has 12,000 members in it, and I have over 1,000 waiting to get in. My YouTube channel has 15.7K subscribers. I'm an international speaker. I've launched 2 books, and I created a digital media network that includes video podcasts, digital magazines, ebooks, and virtual swag bags. I'm been asked repeatedly to be a featured guest on video podcast shows and magazines, on panels and summits. And the reason I share that with you all is because if I can do it, you can do it. There's no doubt. When I first jumped into the influence game, right? I was, again, remember in Hollywood, I was making everyone else a star. I wasn't the center of attention. I was in the shadows all the time. And so this doesn't come easy for me. And I want people to know that out there, that I know that it's important and it's a big part of my purpose. And so therefore I do every single morning wake up and set an intention that I'm going to be of service to get visible and influential, because it's opening doors for others to do the same, right? But I do want to encourage you that if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? Because I had to relearn my patterns, right? And standing in my spotlight also comes along with a lot of love, right? And so So I've really worked on a deep inner game, and it's actually in my second book, Being Your Superstar: How to Expand Your Love Capacity. If you do not have a daily habit system yet, or one that isn't taking you to new heights and soaring your business and yourself, please get this as a step-by-step guide, My Daily Habits. Okay, so let's get into my first signature strategy that I want to share with all you today, and that you can implement today, right away. I make them not super complicated because I want them to be easy breezy. So it's around your branded voice, okay? And so you have one, you're sending a signal out there, whether you think you are or not, but you are. And you want your voice to be in direct alignment with your brand, so not to confuse the marketplace around who you are and your brand, and to grow your influence. So one signature strategy of mine is to spotlight your ideal clients with testimonials. And I know you all have them, but here's the difference. A lot of times they're hiding in the shadows on your website. You're not sharing them across your social media channels. Why? Because we're taught not to brag. And I want to dismiss that philosophy because it keeps people small, right? In Hollywood, I was encouraged by my mentors to always talk about my wins, my past wins. And because we would go to lunch, dinner, and breakfast down there, it was pretty much a daily, it was just a part of the culture. And so my first mentor was like, well, you have to tell them who you are, who you work for, what you've done, right? That's the only way that they're going to be able to help you and help us, right? So I want you to take your ideal client testimonials. I want you to create a graphic, right? And then I want you to share them out here. And here's another thing too. It's a great way of you honoring your client because you're spotlighting them. And I want you to tag them on your social media channels, and therefore, you get into their backyards with people that already know, like, and trust them. Makes sense, right? So showcasing your ideal clients through imagery is another way of honoring them, but it also tells a brand story where other people can see themselves working with you, right? So when you see your clients, take pictures with them, right? Share them and tag them on social media, on your social media channels. This is another way where you're sharing your branded voice with people by sharing your signals so that they know, like, and trust you. And it creates a long-term loyalty, fueling expansion and impact for you and your brand. Okay. So that's my superstar signature strategy. Number one, spotlight your ideal clients with testimonials, showcase them through imagery, taking images with them, tagging them on social media, and then sharing them across your social media. It's a great way to grow your visibility and influence out there as well. So let's jump into my second strategy, right? So my next strategy is marketing campaigns. I know people can get a little overwhelmed with marketing because they feel like it's such a huge lift, but it really isn't. As long as you make it fun for yourself, which I love marketing, I think it's fantastic. I mean, one of my first mentors, my first movie I worked on was Stargate. He was a master marketer, but he also taught me how else are we going to get people into the theater seats if we don't start marketing and if we're not really loud about the movie, right? For a long period of time before the movie even dropped. So we would shoot, it would take us a year from beginning to end before a movie came to the theaters, and we were marketing before we even started shooting the film, right? So think about your brand and client as filling theater seats, right? You're going to want to market, and you want to also send out a signal that your brand is memorable and you want it to be relatable so it grows your influence. So you want to establish brand consistency through article content, for instance. I love articles. It's a great way where you can also hyperlink in your articles back to your products and services. But it also delivers your unique point of view. So you don't want to just be like everyone else out there. You want to share your unique point of view. And a great way of doing that is through articles, right? And it also immediately elevates you as an expert in your field, right? And it's a kind of content that you can keep repurposing and using it over and over and over again. And you can also pull from one article. You can pull out quotes, you can pull out tips, you can pull out, make sure that there's real value in your articles so that people that read the article, as they're using your tangible tips and strategies, tools, or resources, every time they use it, guess who they're thinking about? You. And it's growing your influence, right? You also want to create a system for yourself where you are connecting through checking in with your clientele, right? You always want to stay top of mind with your clientele. That's what's so great with social media, right? So make sure all your clients are following you on your social media, right? Because every time you post, who are they going to think about? You, right? So you want to stay top of mind, but regularly checking in. And I love my clients. In Hollywood, we're also trained and taught to, with our clientele, to make them our friends. And so we would vacation with them and travel with them, right? Um, and so that's crossed over for me. And so I like to emotionally connect with my clients, but I love to celebrate their birthdays. And did you know that the number one piece of marketing material that has 100% open rate is mail? Yeah, it's mail. So put a stamp on it and send out a birthday card, right? Also, recognizing them for their wins and spotlighting them out there in social media is something that I'm known for. It's one of my signature branding voice, in other words, right? But it's a great way for you to also have a loyalty program. I just launched mine. It's called Shine Bright, Live Lux. And it's a way where I'm rewarding clients that are loyal and staying with me. I'm rewarding them with either gifts or extra time bonus perks with me, right? Because they should be rewarded, right? So really be thinking about your marketing campaign, right? What article topic could you approach this week, right? And it doesn't have to be long, right? You can keep just a short little article is fine, but make sure that it leverages your brand, okay? And then also too, when's the last time you checked in with past clients, right? And if you don't have a system about check-ins, this week go ahead and make one. Just keep it really simple, right? But birthday cards, milestones, and then think about a loyalty program. It's been really fun. I'm enjoying it. So, right? And then my third and my final uh, strategy is, oh, I wanted to show you guys this too. Here's, because I am consistent with my articles. I get asked to be a contributor in other people's magazines, and so here's one of my articles: Mastering Visibility and Influence for Business Success. Now you can see, why did I pick that topic? What am I always, what's the heartbeat to my brand? Visibility and influence. What am I? I'm a visibility and influence strategist, right? So so I go back to this topic header quite often because it's leveraging my brand out there, right? And also too, um, always add your headshot to your articles too. It's great for face recognition. Okay, and you can learn more about face recognition on my website. I have blogs on it. Okay, so my final strategy here is one of my favorites. My final strategy is leverage your social media business channel. So I don't treat social media. I treat it as purely as business channels. I don't treat it any other way. That doesn't mean I don't still share about my personal life, because I do. You want to allow the marketplace to see that you're three-dimensional. So I absolutely include my personal life, but I balance it out with my business shares as well, right? Whether it's blogging or articles or my video podcast that I have two different shows, right? Summits and more. So, but you want to use them to connect with your community. And again, remember, I love to emotionally connect. So the way that I look at social media is I look at as a virtual coffee shop, right? And so when I pop on to social media, I don't just post and run. That would be like me walking in to my local coffee shop and not saying hi to anyone, including the servers on the other side of the counter. That would just be rude, right? And in order to really gain brand evangelist, you remember people support those that support them. So I share, but I also utilize my time to see what else people are up to, right? Because I want to know and emotionally connect deeper with other people. So I'll know if someone just got married. I'll know if there's a death in the family, that kind of thing, right? And rather than not saying anything, of course I'm going to comment and I'm going to say sending you prayers, right? Because I actually care, right? And so I want you guys to think about how you're really using social too. Are you using it as a two-way communication street, right? And how can you make it fun for yourself, right? Because and you also want to share real value. You know, you if when you deliver your tools and your tips and your articles and your blogs and everything, right? You want there to be real value in there so that you're creating trust and then you're turning that visibility into loyalty. Because remember, as they're using your tools, tips, strategies, resources, who are they thinking about? You, and you're top of mind. And this gains more visibility and influence, but also gains you loyal customer base. People that you didn't even know were following you literally will become your customers. It happens to me all the time. I had no idea that person wasn't even following me. Maybe they've been following me for the last 4 years, even, right? And then they reach out, right? Because they've seen me enough times that they're like, you know what? I've used enough of her tips and tools. It's time for me to work directly with her. Okay. And also spotlight other brands to elevate your own, right? Be generous with your business channels, which is social media. When you highlight other people, other brands, other companies, other resources, other products, other services, right? You're creating goodwill, but you're also, when you shine the spotlight on others, the spotlight shines back on you, sisters, brothers, right? So it always will circle back, always circles back to you, right? And so I tell people be generous, share with others out there in the marketplace and spotlight them. I've literally, it's one of my biggest strategies, and it's based on my Hollywood days. When I saw my name in lights, it's the only industry that literally puts your name in lights in the final credits, in the end credits. And when I remember that first time sitting in the theater and it was Stargate and I was watching the credits roll and I saw my name in lights amongst everyone else that worked on that movie, that that would change my life. It was a tipping point for me. I had an aha. And this is how I came up with this strategy. And this is a big strategy in the heartbeat of my brand, right? Spotlighting others, putting other people in the spotlight, and it will spotlight you back, right? It will. It's great to be generous. It's great to be generous, right? So I hope you got a lot of value from this. I offered this 60-minute power session with me, and we can look at your visibility influence and uh, how to do a power session. But I love step by steps and keeping it simple, but also love to watch other people soar higher and higher and higher. So if anyone has any questions or any ahas, I'd love to hear it.
It's crazy as you were sitting there talking about things. It's like, yes, all the things that she taught me to do that have made such a difference. Uh, which is
Yes.
why we had you on here, because I mean, let's be real. This was like gold. Okay, this was gold. This is gold in your piggy bank, because Joey just reminded you that of everything that I keep telling you all the time. Your voice is your brand, and it's more than just messaging. It's the soul of your brand. And then when you align that voice with the strategy that she just talked about, like I said, I'm a convert. Everything that she taught me about being visible and making sure people knew I existed, and basically tooting my own horn after all the years of being told, don't do that.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, we're brought up like that, right? That's society, right? But I think too, like the I'm going to encourage everyone to at once a week, the same day, share a testimonial. That takes the most courage I've noticed for people, right? Because there's someone talking grandeur about you, right? The difference with my testimonials is I add your guys's headshot, not my own, to the testimonial because I want to spotlight you guys, right? And give you guys more face recognition out there in the marketplace, right? And so I'm going to encourage people to do that. It's a great way also to show the marketplace who your ideal client is, right? And then when you tag that person, now you're in their backyard with a testimonial from that person, right? And so that I feel is one of the strategies that definitely takes the most courage for people.
it did for me a little bit, because it's like, now I do sound like I'm bragging. Right? So,
Yeah.
but when you do these things, the result, it's not just visibility, it's income, ladies. It's income. It's money in your bank.
Yeah.
So,
And
you know,
opportunities, like business opportunities that would just you don't have to chase so much. The more influence you gain, the more visibility and influence that you bank for yourself, right? There's less chasing. I'll have people say, "Oh, I want to get on more video podcasts." I don't ever reach out to anyone to be on video pod. I don't have to, right? I mean, I'm on endless video podcasts, right? I have people reaching out all the time asking me to be on theirs. But I think that there's two reasons for that. One is I think it's because of the influence piece, but also two, because they know I'm going to share about it. They know that I'm very generous with my business channels, social media business channels, right? And so they know there's a big win-win. But I have people say, that they're literally hiring people to try to get on video podcasts. And I mean, God bless that, but you don't have to. Also, like I get asked to be a contributor in magazines all the time, all the time, right? Right. And this is all because of the being so visible, growing the influence, right? But that's what I'm saying to everyone out there is you won't have to chase so much. You won't have to, there won't have to be like, you know, you know, so much reach out. There'll be more reach back to you. People will reach out to you, right?
it works. That's all I can tell you is it works. So I have been on more podcasts and stages
Yeah.
and contributing in the last little bit than in the prior 20 years combined. So it works. And I don't call people up and ask if I can be on their things or if I can contribute. I don't have to anymore. People come looking for me. So it works, ladies.
It does. It does. It takes very little effort, like to put a testimonial in Canva and put someone's a headshot on it, right? But also too, to really look at your business, the social media channels as your business channels. And what I see a lot though still is I see people posting, but they're not interacting with other people. And I'm like, but this is your opportunity. Like, like I've met some of my closest friends to date is because of social media that are now like I vacation with them, literally. You know what I mean? Because of social media, because I loved their post and I like started interacting with them, commenting, and then we got on a phone call, and then we got on a Zoom, and then they flew in, or I fly in. You know what I mean? And then from there, we've done events together. We've gotten each other on stages that I didn't know that person. They made the intro. I feel that social media is still the little black book, and that little black book is money. It's earning power, right? So to really take the time, you know, to stop and not sell people, just get to know these people, right? I've just had such an incredible experience with it.
Well, I appreciate you coming and sharing all of that because it works. Okay. So, and it's free and it's easy. It just takes time and consistency. So, which, gosh, how many times have I talked about that? So just do it. Okay. Do
I
it.
love you, love you, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. And if today fired something up inside you, do not let it fade. Go join the wait list for the monetization boot camp that's coming up. This is our founders launch, okay, which means you're going to get exclusive early access and bonus content and the lowest price that's ever going to be offered because it's the founders launch. So it's the beta test. Okay, but only if you're on the list. The spots are limited, so you need to get on the wait list because only the first few that are on the list are going to be taken. This round is intentionally intimate because we're figuring out how it's going to work so we can go deep and get real results. So I'm going to drop the link for that in the description. Click the link, go sign up for the wait list, or drop a little fire in the symbol. The little fire emoji is my favorite lately. Drop that in the chat and I will get it to you. This is your moment. We're going to turn your message into money. All right, ladies, we will see you next week when we're going to be talking about mindset, which is right after your voice. Mindset is crucial. So we will see you all next Monday, same time. Have a great day.